All right. First rule of this channel: we not talk about this channel. Say rule of the channel: this is not legal advice. So this is going to be chasing the dragon for week 13, heading into week 14. This is going to be the reactive waiver wire show. Hopefully you survived Thanksgiving both in real life and in fantasy football, and you're still alive to either make your playoffs or you're going to be knife fighting to get in one of those money weeks with that bye week. So something along those lines when it goes on that on going on out there right now. So Isaac Guerendo, he's going to be the bell of the ball right now. Like, just stop what you're doing and go drop everything that you have on the running back for the 49ers. That's the long and short of that story. When it comes to your defenses right now, first and foremost, from a strategy perspective, remember that there are the Broncos, the Colts, the Patriots, the Redskins, the Ravens, and the Texans on bye this week going on out there. It's not just about you and what you need. It's about like what your opponent needs out there and some of the other blocks that are going to be going on when we talk about some of these guys that are available and how valuable they are to you and everybody else. Remember, what's a win worth, and more importantly, like what's playoffs work when it comes to week 14 with your blocks. And that's like the biggest thing when it comes down to it. That's why I will bring up with Isaac Guerendo. I don't want to see him, period. That's how much of a league winner he can be, even though I think my expectations might need to be muted on him. I'll talk about him right here in a second. When it comes to defenses that are available, there's a lot of like really dicey, unpredictable type matchups. The Dolphins and the Jets, I think those are going to be like very unpredictable to be rolling. Vikings, if they're available against the Falcons. Saints and Giants, you could roll them against each other. I don't know. I wouldn't be trusting that. Eagles going up against the Panthers. I don't know if I would be trusting that matchup right now with how good the Panthers have looked lately. Buccaneers maybe going against the Raiders right now. The Bears are going to be a very sneaky role against the 49ers this week if you have that opportunity to do it. But if the Titans are available going up against Jacksonville, Titans are a very good defense. They're rolling against Mac Jones with Trevor Lawrence out. Like, this was the one to spend on. This is the one that you don't want to be going up against also if it's available that out there and you're going up against a guy that is trying to get the biggest spike available out there. All right. Moving on to the guy that you should be wasting all of the fab that you have left, and your number one waiver claim if you've been waiting on to it would be Isaac Guerendo, 6 foot 220, 4.340 out of Louisville, converted wide receiver, all that good stuff. There is a little bit of some vacated opportunities, not named CMC going on the IR with that PCL, and Jordan Mason going on the IR with a high ankle sprain. The offense hasn't looked good. Like, some of the offenses that we thought were going to be good are going to be bad. That might be the 49ers this year, and I bring that up because like if they're going to put like the load on the rookie that is the athletic freak, it's going to be Isaac Guerendo. Now, my muted expectation in this one would be that Patrick Taylor and Kyle Juszczyk are going to get some of the trustworthy work. It's not going to go to them. I could also see that like Debo is going to get a little bit more of the work because Debo is basically kind of a wide receiver or a running back who plays wide receiver. I did see that the 49ers have like a 9% chance to make the playoffs. So again, like they might be in tank mode for the rest of the year when it comes down to all that stuff, but he's the guy to be spending on. I don't know how many opportunities you're going to have like a league winner going into your playoffs if he's available. That's the long and short of that one. Now, some of the other guys are going to be available from the wide receiver, or not the wide receiver, the quarterback perspective. If you need those guys that are out there, like Jameis Winston, like he shouldn't be available. This is a Jameis Winston week, 58 for 30 or 34, 58. 497, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions to go along with it. That's within his range of outcomes. He could go out there and torch the two predictive matchups that you would bench him, which would be the Steelers and the Chiefs. He could go out there and torch that. And then the 2 weeks that you're like, hey, I got a shootout, he's going to go out there, throw 4 interceptions and fumble the ball twice and give you a negative week. And that's the Bengals and the Dolphins. That's just what Jameis Winston does. So if he's available, he shouldn't be available. But if he is, know what you're going to be paying for when it comes down to him. I don't want to see him more than I want to be rolling him out there. The other one I saw on the internet, like being talked about, Caleb Williams, if he's available, this is a rough matchup. I don't know what you could say about the 49ers and the Vikings, the Lions, and then the Seahawks at the end of the year. Like, that's a rough schedule to finish everything off with. Chasing a little bit of the nimbly bimbly and the passing touchdowns. They have looked better since they fired their offensive coordinator. Now they fired their head coach. Like, maybe. But again, like, I don't know how much I would really want to be trusting this outside of like, yeah, I don't want to see him against me during the playoffs. And then finally, like Russell Wilson, probably absolutely not. I would probably feel okay against Russell Wilson because I don't know how much this offense is going to be in shootouts, like this predictive game against the Bengals. And then the other thing you got to remember, like they are a good defense. They don't need to be playing this style of game. They also are, they're going to run the football and slow things down. I just don't know how many 4, 14, and 3 touchdowns you're going to get out of the rest of the way. I would be okay him getting rolled against me. I don't know how much rushing upside he's going to have at this stage of his career. All right, some of the other running backs that are going to be available right now, I'm bringing this one up. Jaleel McLaughlin did have 14 carries in this game for 84 yards on Monday night. He's right here. And that's with, I think, 4 carries for Javonte. Pulled up the wrong one right there. Javonte had 4 carries in this game, 2 targets, and then Estime had like 3 carries in this game also. So Jaleel McLaughlin in the win, he did have 14 carries, 2 targets. I don't know how much predictive this is going to be going forward, and this is also with a bye week, so I don't know how much I'd be wanting to chase that. Jonathan Brooks is a guy like, yeah, this is like, chase this dragon. I will tell you this right now. Just broke down after waivers. This is a freebie for you guys. So he was up to 21% snaps going into Philadelphia. That's from 8% snaps in week 12. He had more red zone opportunity than Chuba did. He did 3 for 3 for 23. Normally the metrics that we want for running back are going to be red zone opportunity and receiving work. That's what he had, and he's going into some pretty good matchups. Philadelphia, the Cardinals, and Tampa Bay to finish things off with the Cowboys. So yeah, I would be picking up Jonathan Brooks to be a desperation RB2 and potentially a league winner when it comes to the playoffs. Blake Corum's another one, like probably your deeper leagues. He's just a stash lottery ticket. His snaps were up. I don't know how much I'd be chasing this outside of like really desperation deeper league, like RB2, 32% snaps this week, 8 for 42. We could tell that story now where he could fall in the end zone on any given week. Probably the other guy to be chasing if you're in that like desperation RB2 mode would be Kendre Miller. He's designated return coming off of IR. He's one of the big reasons their coach got fired. He supposedly put a healthy Kendre Miller on IR, and the news is like, all gas, no brakes when he comes back. If you want to be chasing these guys that are out there, this is the end of the year. There ain't a lot left. You're spending on Isaac Guerendo. You're hoping you're getting him. If you don't get Isaac Guerendo and Jonathan Brooks is available, I'd be spending on Jonathan Brooks. Wide receivers, there's a fair good amount of wide receiver 3s that we can talk about right now, and I guess I can just pull this one up. You're looking at like Adam Thielen, like this is a 40-degree day. I don't know how much spike you're going to get out of him. Him, David Moore, and Xavier Leggett had red zone opportunities, and they had like about 100 air yards. He was the one that got home in this one. This is with the Coker being out with the quad, but I think he's going to be the guy that's like, he's going to be the security blanket for Bryce Young, and they've looked better going on. So like if you need that wide receiver 3, I don't want to chase that 40, or I don't want that 40-degree day to be rolled against me during the money weeks that are coming up here. Parker Washington, if he's available, he shouldn't be available. Like he should have been picked up with the injuries to Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk. This is predictive. I don't know how many more he's got in him, but he does definitely have this like range of outcomes. He's probably like a high-end wide receiver 3. You could talk about him maybe flirting as a wide receiver 2 rest of the year. The bigger issue with him, with Trevor Lawrence going out with that really nasty concussion, is he's attached to Mac Jones. I don't know how much you're going to be able to guess this. Twice against the Texans, the Raiders, and the Jets. These are not the greatest matchups to be trying to guess on when it comes to Parker Washington. He's good at football. A couple other guys that we can talk about. This is a wide receiver 3 with maybe a little bit more upside if CeeDee Lamb misses. We could talk about like Brandon Cooks coming back 39% snaps, had about 100 air yards on the 7 targets on 39% snaps, and a red zone opportunity in this one. Could be chasing that one. You're also looking at the possibility in deeper leagues that you'll be chasing Jonathan Mingo. If you need that, with the possibility CeeDee Lamb is going to miss. Right now it says like CeeDee Lamb is expected to play. So like, you chase whatever you want when it comes to your roster. Finally, on this one is right here. I guess I'll just pull it up directly. Nick Westbrook-Akine, he shouldn't be available at this point. Like he may be capped out in that like wide receiver 3 range, but again, he's getting red zone opportunity. He had about another 100 air yards again this game. Shouldn't be available, but if he is, and you want to be chasing that, or you need to be blocking that, because I definitely don't want that roll against me this week, that's going to be available. And then finally, this is another one where it's like, you're chasing the possibility of vacated opportunities. With Ladd McConkey maybe missing some time with that knee injury, you can start talking about like Josh Palmer being that guy that's going to get the beneficiary of that. The other one in this one, and we'll just transition over to tight ends right now, is if you don't get Josh Palmer with Ladd McConkey potentially missing. You could talk about like Will Disley. Vacated opportunities tend to go to running backs first, then wide receiver or tight end second. Like it could be Will Disley. He only had one target. It was red zone opportunity. I probably would not be chasing Will Disley outside of deeper leagues. The other guys, yeah, probably Noah Gray. If you need tight end, he should already have been rostered. A couple weeks ago at this point, I did see that he was on like waiver wire lists. 6 for 4 for 58 on 62% snaps. He did have 2 touchdowns in week 11 and week 12. He had about as many air yards on his 6 targets that Kelsey had with his 13. So again, like if you want to be chasing that, the guy right now that we can maybe speculate on being a tight end league winner is going to be Isaiah Likely, because we don't know what's going on with Rashad Bateman. And again, vacated targets tend to go to running backs first, tight end second. We could look at like Isaiah Likely. He's already been fantasy relevant. Him getting the vacated opportunities that the long and short of this is going to be like you have a consolidation of targets with Charlie Kohler going on IR with a broken forearm, and then Rashad Bateman going out. You could definitely see that like Isaiah Likely is going to function as a wide receiver 3 in the offense. That means if he's a wide receiver 3, he's a weekly role when it comes to tight ends. So you could talk about like him being a league winner. And if you need that 1 week rental, and I definitely don't want to be seeing this because we could tell that story, and I'm going to will this to happen in one way, shape, or form. Grant Calcaterra, he's going to expected to start this week. That's with Dallas Goedert expected to miss time with that knee injury, so we could tell that story where we could actually get that predictive spike out of Grant Calcaterra. So anyways, that's about all I got. Like spend all that you got on Isaac Guerendo. If he's not available, spend what you got on Jonathan Brooks to try and get that RB2 during the playoff push. I do like Thielen as a 40-degree day wide receiver. I like Parker Washington, maybe a wide receiver 2 rest of the way. You're looking at Brandon Cooks maybe being some type of dart throw. Josh Palmer might be a dart throw with Ladd maybe missing some time. And then Isaiah Likely might end up being a league winner. Even with the bye week coming out of there, because we don't know what's going on with Rashad Bateman. And then if you need that 1 week rental, Grant Calcaterra. That's about what I got for Chasing the Dragon. I'll see you guys tomorrow on After Waivers.